You're watching Chat Schmat, and yes, it's time for a little experiment for us. We're doing a reaction video, except this time we're not in shot. We don't have our faces in the image. But we're giving it a go. We hope you like this. It's just a little experiment, and it's Christmas.
There was a man died on that, and but the show itself was a bit like Noel's house party. They had the gotchas, but they called them the Golden Egg Awards. But it was the same thing, was gotchas. But he did come back with a sort of a different show called Saturday Roadshow. Yeah, that was it. Which is much more like House Party. It's kind of one of those shows. It was a mishmash of that and Noel's House Party, which eventually it became. But Noel Edmonds was king of Saturday night on BBC One for many years. But in addition to that, he had another show called Telly Addicts, which featured members of the public who applied to be on the show, and then they, it was usually like a family against a family or that kind of thing, but they had team names anyway. And they would come on and they would be asked questions and shown clips about TV shows from not just the BBC, but the other networks as well. And they would answer questions and win prizes or win points anyway. And the Christmas ones though had celebrities coming on and playing. So we're armed with more tea. That was hot. And some water if you need it. And I'm drinking my water in a very sponsored mug.
I'm just drinking water this time.
And then I've got the old audio cassette on the back, which we are actually going to record some stuff onto audio cassettes in future podcasts. But anyway, it's time to, we've seen the that show business, as the quiz was called. That was, just to explain, that was the first series. So that was the Christmas episode of a series that started in the summer. Whereas Telly Addicts had already been going a few years by this stage. Telly Addicts is normally, it's two groups of people. Normally it's like a family, two families, that sort of thing, and they've got the names. But the Christmas episode of Telly Addicts had celebrities. So, you'll see them pop up here and,
But the Christmas specials always have celebrities.
Yes. So I always thought that show business and Telly Addicts were very similar in tone. And you're going to see that here. It actually is even more so with celebrities. And we've got Noel Edmonds, another Radio 1 DJ that has presented a lot of shows. You mentioned him earlier. This was a side project of his.
Our younger generation probably think of him as the host of Deal or No Deal.
Yes, but in another guise, he was Mr. Christmas because he had the Noel's Christmas presents where he went around helping people.
That was all recently. They had it on Sky One for a couple of years.
And as I say, this is the Telly Addicts one, and then he also had his own show. I think by this stage, it wasn't quite House Party, but I think it was his Saturday Roadshow would have been the what he was using at the moment.
I think a clip appeared from one of the Doctor Who Blu-ray sets with Sylvester McCoy.
Well, speaking of Doctor Who, I just want to mention something before we go into this. Before we go into this episode to watch it, one of the people in it is Jessica Martin, she actually did a lot of voices on Spitting Image in the early days, but she was also in, she played a character, Mags, who was a werewolf in The Greatest Show in the Galaxy. And I almost met her in a Dublin Comic Con. I went over to her stall and her sister was there. And she said, oh, she's just gone to the bathroom. But the way it was working, I didn't have time to wait. So unfortunately, I didn't get to actually meet her. but she wasn't there. And so I just want to say that before it starts. There's obviously a lot of other people in the show as well. But,
she's actually returning Doctor Who, because I think she's voice mags in some of the audios.
Yes, I was going to say I think she was in one of the new Who episodes as a voice as well.
Yeah, she voiced the Queen, but recently she returned as mags in some of the audios with the Seventh Doctor.
Yes, because she did the Queen for a while on Spinning Image. That was one of the voices that she did when she was on the show. The original, this is slightly veering off, but you might want to know what the original Queen, it was Louise Gold, but I think she had other projects to do. She's one of the original Muppet performers, and she left after the first series, and Jessica Martin took over for a couple of years. So she does voices and impressions and things, but she happened to appear in this. But as far as I know, I haven't met any of the other people on here, but I will see, because I can't remember offhand exactly who else was in, but I wanted to make a note because I was looking at, the information who was in it. But here we go anyway. It's 1989. That's the theme for tonight. So, we've had Batman, and we've had loads of other fantastic films and TV series. So speaking of TV, 1989 was an interesting year for that. And we're about to find out.
89. It was a transcendental year. That's the year of Batman, Indiana Jones, Last Crusade, License to Kill, Ghostbusters 2.
But if you think Doctor Who had just ended, so
yeah, this was Doctor. Because December, I think early December is when Survival finished. So at this point, it was a case of, I don't know if it was officially known at this point if Doctor Who was rested or if it was I don't think it was official at this point. I don't know.
No, it certainly wasn't, because I would have been all over that, and I do know that I was waiting for it to come back even the following year. Although I think they might have said it's not coming back, but certainly didn't think it was never coming back. It felt like forever until it came back in the movie. So no, it wasn't like they do now with TV shows, say, and it's the final series. I think it was just one of those decisions that people who were involved in it probably knew, but even then, you're never 100% sure. So they certainly weren't going to say in Telly Addicts, oh, by the way, yeah, Doctor Who final series. It's one of those things. But we shall see what it brings, and let's roll the titles, he says, as he goes over to share the screen, really, is essentially what I'm doing. But, thanks to editing, I'll be able to say that. Let's roll titles.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, and welcome to our Christmas comedy special. Ha ha.
Do you remember those TVs? Oh, there's the Enterprise. Number 2.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Got the Enterprise was in the titles.
Christmas comedy special. And here's your host, Noel Edmonds.
Oh, very funny. Very clever.
This birthday is pretty close to Christmas.
Good evening and welcome.
Wonderful jumper. Great jumper, isn't it?
Promises to be absolute mayhem, so let's immediately have a magic moment. And thank you to everyone who's written in asking for these snippets from past TV glories. Tom Henderson, who's in Coventry, says it'd be just baby grand if you could play my magic moment. He tickled my ivories and managed to reach the parts that other Scandinavians couldn't. Some Victor Borger, please. Yes, indeed, why not?
I guess I saw Jim Bowen there.
Jim Bowen can't play the piano.
No, I meant.
Well, we're seeing in
I thought you'd been super smashing great.
Down to the introduction, if you took part in the Radio Times Telly Addicts competition and you're wondering whether or not you are one of the 5 pairs of people who'll be going off to America, to Universal Studios, everything free of charge, all organised or whatever, the names are going to be coming up during the clips. So look out, you might be on your way to America. I am on my way to the Crackers. The Crackers are 50% of our soap opera for Christmas, and the first cracker is Mr. Frank Carson. He leads the Crackers team. Frank plays old Jacob Cracker, the man whose poaching days came to an abrupt end when he goes salmon tickling without his glasses and spends 2 hours tickling a police frogman. Then we have Thelma Duncan Niblet, the part-time police frogman, played this evening without the wetsuit by Liza Goddard. Next to Liza is George Layton, who plays the absent-minded village
Follow him on Twitter.
Sebastian Crumb, who goes on a 23-mile jog each morning and ends up 160 miles away from home by the end of the week. And finally, Graeme Garden, playing Ginger Williams.
Oh, goody.
Wild party in old Jacob's allotment, who gets arrested for disturbing the peace.
Goody, goody, gum.
They are the Crackers!
So I tell them.
And the other half of this rather bizarre soap opera is a team that we've dubbed the Clowns.
Oh, dear.
That's all we have.
Oh, God, look at Chris Tarrant's jumper there.
Who plays the over-the-top French tennis...
It's very easy to say that, isn't it, now?
tennis.
Excuse me, almost impossible.
Tennis coach, Fred Perrier. Fred turns the heads
Look at Chris Tarrant's hair then.
with his fluffy yellow ball
Yeah,
and
he's-
faultless second service.
He's cultivating a mullet.
Next to him is Barry Cryer, playing the lovable
Barry Cryer looks the
Hugh
same, doesn't
Jampson. Hugh is Hugh is
That could be
currently
taken
awaiting
two
the
ways.
results of his job interview at the local swimming pool, where he's applied to be a diving board. Then we have Jessica Martin, who plays the evil optician's assistant, Mary Chimes. This twisted woman sadistically tests clients' eyes by asking them to read the first 8 lines of a Jeffrey Archer novel.
Very good.
Yeah. And finally, we have Mr. Jim Bowen, who plays Little Mickey Tuckbox, the young boy whose pockets are full of bullseyes and whose best friend is a spider called Neville, and he has a smashing time with his catapult. They are the Clowns!
Super smashing great.
And I think we better just let battle commence, really. And here is the first Christmas party.
Oh, he's got the hoofer doofer,
Status
as he
Quo
called it.
fan club.
It's not Christmas dinner, you old twit.
Then what exactly is she for?
Eh?
Why have you built her here?
Well, she's my share of the spoils.
Go on.
Well, I mean, when we rounded the angles, all I had was a couple of donkeys, 4 bags of oats, and her.
And?
We drew lots.
And?
I got the booby prize. Right, we better introduce you. I'm Seed Pod. That's
Yeah,
my son.
there was a carry-on TV series.
My father, Anthropod. Aye. And my mate, Senna.
Senna Coddle, what a funny name.
Yeah, one's in the family.
I always thought it was just like the short, like the lads, you know, the highlights of them.
Early victory for the Clowns. Name the carry-on Christmas stars in the clip, please.
Sid James, Bernard Breslaw,
Joan
Joan Sims,
Barbara Windsor.
Ken Connor.
Ken Connor.
Lovely.
We've said Bernie Breslaw, haven't we?
Okay, let's see if you're right. Sid James, Bernard Breslaw, Kenneth... Did you say Kenneth Connor? Please.
What a start.
If you applaud, everyone will be here all night. Here's the second question. What did Sid James bless on TV? What did
This house.
This house, very good answering from the Clowns.
Cryptic, aren't they, so far?
And the third part, Kenneth Connor and Peter Sellers read what on TV in 1956?
The Idiot Weekly Prize Tuppence.
Ooh, what about that? Very
well
good
done,
answer.
Barry. Well done, Barry.
Like that.
Good man. Well done. I had no idea.
It paid to drag Barry Cryer out of
Marvellous.
retirement. I swear.
Pity that wasn't thrown over.
Now, with a bit of luck, this clip will silence him for a moment.
All right, Ellie, I leave it to you.
Yes, master.
But if you fail...
Yes? Oh, what? Not the 1,000 mayhems.
Yes.
God, the 1,000 mayhems! That's good, isn't it? No, he's gone. That was my best bit so far. I'm sorry. It's all right. Where's the... God! Oh, there's a... God, the 1,000 mayhems! Oh, yeah, you can go. Yes! No. Don't clap, you want money. No.
Okay, Crackers, see what you can make of this. Whoops. Frankie goes to where?
Hollywood.
What puppy was it?
Could you answer as a team, Frank? You're part of a team.
Baghdad, yeah.
Baghdad. It's just as well I ignored him, really, wasn't it? Baghdad.
We're trying to ignore him. It's impossible.
Let's have the second question. In which series did he lurk?
Pompeii.
Thank you, Graham. Thank you very much for the way you're holding this team together here. He was Lurkio, you're quite right. Now, is this going to be a 3 out of 3? What did he refer to the head of Light Entertainment as in the Frankie Howard show? Thing. Graham once again offers thing. Yes, very good. Oh, yes.
He knows everything.
He's Morgul.
A vicious fight to the very climax. It's 3-all.
Look at that already.
Now, traditionally, we call this round Guess Who, but looking at this lot, you might well dub it Where on Earth do we get them from?
This all-round entertainer is genuinely warm-hearted.
Ooh, he's friendly with a wild animal.
And he's acquainted with the stars.
That is a genuine...
You seem very thrilled.
David Bellamy.
David Bellamy? David Bellamy. Right,
No,
that's their offering at 3 points.
Pork is his favourite dish.
He has a theatrical bent, love is.
But usually he plays the straight man.
Give a wild guess, eh? Frank Bruno.
You're getting warm.
Yeah.
You are getting closer with Frank Bruno. And we move on to the third and final bit.
His best friend is funny.
Though Statler and Waldorf wouldn't agree.
Along with a few others who makes a Muppet show of himself.
And his personal philosophy is, it's not easy being green.
It's Kermit, obviously.
For me, Kermit.
Funny you were talking about that before. Before we come on.
A measly 1 point.
See little 1 point.
Actually, Jim Henson would have still been alive at this point too.
Yeah.
The worst performance that we've had ever in a Guess Who round.
This comic character made friends with a Norwegian designer.
He was probably nicknamed Four Eyes at school.
He was quite brilliant. He was also quite mad.
What the hell?
He thinks it's scary.
Norwegian.
Where did you find
Honestly, people that were walking down the street.
Can't believe that.
He's also Greg Little, like, isn't he?
Yeah. For some reason, I'd have a stab at Kenny Everett.
I think a lot of us would like to.
I'm glad to take that as your offering then.
Oh, yes.
Kenny Everett at that
Kenny
point.
Everett.
So, what do you make of this?
He met a man in his pajamas.
And he used a fourth prefix to get around.
He's convinced 2 heads are better than 1.
C-Far People Brocks.
It's that bloke who's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Sapphire People Brocks, I think it is, sorry.
Yeah. You better go on. Better go on.
You're getting close, but so far you haven't nailed it yet.
Norwegian.
You're still worried about
You're popular. Yes.
Edward Green.
That's Norwegian, isn't it?
Well, let's move on, if that's the best you can do.
Oh, look out.
I guess Sapphire People Brocks.
Was 1 in a million.
He could count to 25 with his fingers and his toes.
He dined in Midway's restaurants.
And he would have been lost without his Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Well, he would, wouldn't he? How's that?
Well, all that's done is add to the frustration here.
We've got him in trouble. We can't tell you that.
Yeah, you've done all that.
It's Sapphire People Brocks. It's Sapphire People Brocks.
Go on.
Say for Beeble Brooks.
We'll give you a point for that. Yes, it's
I think you knew that, did you?
Oh yeah.
I don't know whether you're still interested in the score. It's made all the difference. It's 4 to the Clowns, 5 to the Crackers. We call this channel hopping because this Who for Doofer is now yours, Graham. And if you'd like to select one of 12 numbers, please, we will get to the question.
Let's try lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7. What is that a bit of?
It's Basil Brush.
Oh, brilliant. Well, he wasn't foxed by that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we move on. Well
Do you
done.
like that one, darling?
That's quite right. So, George. Any number? There you have your selection available.
5.
It's a video choice. In which case, we have 4 completely different videos here.
Take the brown one.
And which one would you care for?
Take the brown one.
Why? Thank you very much.
If I could have it now.
Why do I listen to you, Graham?
I'll give you a clue to this one, George. This is not Sky TV's clothes show.
That'd be a bit big on you, though, wouldn't they?
Oh, yeah.
But I could tuck the ends into me sock. That's a good idea, or you could put a couple of armholes in there and you could use it as a vest.
Right, so George, the question is, what were those knickers known as? And there's 2 possible answers.
I was already to say Arthur Hayes. I mean, you know, you blow me there.
No.
What were they known as?
They were either called F-111s, because it took a missile to get them down. Or alternatively, World War IIs, because one yank and they're off.
I think I'll go for World War II.
I think you were right with Arthur Haynes, actually. I don't know why I bothered with the rest. So if you'd like to pass it on with Lisa, you're quite right. It was Arthur Haynes.
Yep.
What number would you like, Lisa?
3, please.
All right.
Oh, I've got to sing on my own.
Sing the sig, I'm afraid so.
If I could sing it.
Quiet, please.
Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler? And they can all join in. England's down run.
Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Hitler?
Lisa, a number, please, Frank.
Number 1. Oh, wow.
Bonnie Langford, let's say.
Max Wild.
Yeah, of course it is.
I'd be dead good at this.
Chris, your hoofer-doofer, if you would select a number by pressing one of those buttons, please. Ah, you two have this exciting selection before you.
Thank you.
Gosh.
What do you think about it?
Yes.
Blue.
Oh, yes, of course.
It's the blue
Chris,
video from
yes, Chris Tarrant on the blue video. Okay.
Likes the blue movies.
Watch it.
Well, I hope nobody expects me to sit on a cake.
Oh, it's
I've been served.
I've been served,
This
yeah.
funny quiver round the back.
You've always had a funny quiver round the back.
I'll break your other leg.
Would you now please name the actors playing Robin Hood and Humpty?
Oh, dear. Robin Hood was...
Molly Sugden and Arthur Rock.
It was Molly Sugden. Molly Sugden. It was Molly Sugden was... Yeah. And what was the other one?
And
Arthur Brough. Arthur Brough.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Arthur
I'll give you
Brough?
that. I'll give you that.
I covered everything, I
It's
think.
only 1 point for all
Oh,
that
sorry.
effort.
That was
But
a
anyway,
difficult one,
so we move on.
Oh,
Barry,
right.
Barry,
Is it me?
yes.
What have we got? Oh, I'll go early. 2.
2.
Oh.
The voice.
Oh, dear, Barry.
No. Frank Spencer. That was Frank Spencer.
It's Frank Spencer. If I go on any longer, Noel.
You've done a whoopsie in your teeth.
Oh, Jessica. Any more, Jessica?
Well, I'm not stopping now. I've got to scrub some sores.
That was me.
Very good.
That was me, actually.
Jessica, what are you going for?
9.
Number 9. Ah, prop.
Oh, no.
Okay. All right. Glass.
I should try and help me on
Bottle.
this.
Bottle.
Angie. Oh, sorry.
Glass. Glass. Bottle. Bottle. Glass. Bottle, glass. Bottle.
Not like that. Like that.
That'll do.
Isn't that it? Tommy Cooper.
Very good. You were
Oh, yes, a classic.
time. And now we come to James.
Thank you, Jessica. Can we take number 4, please?
Ah.
Interesting seeing him take part in the game show.
Well, the boys to entertain you.
You, music and laughter to help you on your way. The ways and the rafters for hey, hey, hey. You. Shut up!
Eight to
You probably watch that some nights.
9 to the Crackers.
Yeah, I haven't seen it for a while. Pretty good.
Yeah. You'd like to watch it again on DVD there.
And now we're going to introduce an international flavour to this. Here is some American comedy and a show that's canned laughter comes in a 6-pack.
Well, they cleaned me out, took everything I owned. All I have is what I have on. They took your clothes? My clothes, my shoes, girdle, everything. Thank God I'm insured.
Ma, why in the world would they want your clothes?
Who knows? Short girl robber, travels a lot, likes strip dry. It's okay, I'm thrilled. I hated my clothes. I need new clothes.
They didn't take them, Ma. You hid them. Now, where are your clothes?
Maybe I buried them.
Yeah, it'd take a brave burglar to go through her drawers, wouldn't it? So the first question. Oh,
Family Christmas. Oh.
Who's the man-hungry Southern Belle?
Oh.
Yes.
No,
It is Blanche,
I don't
yeah.
think we're going anywhere with that.
No, fine. Well, up it comes Blanche.
Blanche.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Jimmy's suicidal. That was on the tip of your tongue.
Yes,
Jimmy.
it was. You whispered Blanche.
In fact, I went pale at the thought of it.
Yes, I think we'll move on. And where was Rose brought up? This is going to be a real...
This is one of our strong rounds, this.
Yes.
No, we've been doing a lot of work on this one.
Sorry?
Mr. Bowen spoke then.
The Bronx.
Blanche from the Bronx.
No.
Yep.
From the Bronx.
Well, Rose from the Bronx.
In fact, it was St. Olaf.
Of course it was.
That's near Nottingham.
Who begins stories Picture It Sicily, 1924?
We're not still on Golden Girls.
Yeah, well,
It's the grandma, isn't it?
Oh, and the mother.
Sophia.
Yeah.
Sophia, yeah.
Blanche's mother.
Blanche's mother from the Bronx.
Yeah.
Okay, so has this been...
Yeah, Sophia. Dorothy's mother.
It's been a disaster for the clowns because the answer is Sophia, and they have scored nothing. But I will give them 1 point because of the uncharitable way in which Frank Carson applauded the fact that they'd got nothing. That was bad sportsmanship.
No, I wasn't. Excuse me, I wasn't applauding them. I was applauding you for the fact that you've knit this show so well together with what talent there is about.
And an extra point to Carson. An extra point to Carson. So, in what could turn out to be a very high-scoring show, shut up, Frank, you were doing well.
Thanks.
We move on, and we've got more American comedy.
So you could just stop eating this kind of food just like that?
Anytime I want.
Oh.
Well, what can we say?
And your little arteries don't unclog the way they used to. And who should know better than me?
America's Dad.
You get to see the film. I touched the woman.
Would you like a drink and then go on a date? That's my impression. Sounds nothing like him, but...
Would you like to unclog my
That's what he said. That's what he said to the woman.
The question is, actually, Bill Cosby's character is called...
Huxtable.
Look at the next question.
It's called Huxtable.
We're going to say Cosby. Bill. Is he called Bill in the show?
Cosby. I regret it was Clifford Huxtable. Yes, one of those easy to remember names.
Yeah.
Clifford Huxtable. What does Cliff do for a living?
No idea.
Gynecologist.
Yeah.
Doctor.
Well, he's actually a paediatrician.
Close.
The right area.
That's close enough.
Yes, it is. That's good. Yeah, it is.
Like good as you said.
That's
We might
Ian
be
Phil hasn't he?
about this. Paediatrician, of course, is Greek for irritable,
Lisa's
meaning that
trouble
you've
is
got
she's
little
always-
patience. And so, which of Cosby's guests was an old spying
We're going to say
pal?
Robert Culp.
Robert Culp.
Robert Culp.
Culp.
Yes,
Robert Culp.
he was in
Robert
that show.
Culp. Yes. Now, this has produced a very interesting situation indeed. Yes, quite a gap's opened up. It's 9 to the clowns, but it's 11 to the crackers.
A lot more money spent on that show's Christmas edition.
Frank Carson's team could win.
Yeah.
Two horrible things. Things like that can't be shown on television. So we come to titles and tunes. There are two programs hidden in the music and the pictures.
They recognise that?
Everybody out!
Ah, yeah.
Right.
Rag Tray is one of them.
Is the music.
The song.
Well, I heard everybody out, that's why.
Yeah.
So it's, what is it?
The rag tray.
Rag Tray was the music.
Is the music.
Okay, the pictures?
I think it's wrong. I was going to say Alexi Sale, but I'm not sure that's the
Alexi
right
Sale.
answer.
I fear that you're right, you're wrong. It was Russ Abbott, actually. But you were right with the rag trade, so you get 1 point, and the tension builds now. This is an opportunity for the clowns to claw their way back to some sort of parity. Okay.
Sir.
It is your go, Tarrant.
It's the music was the Billy Cotton Band show.
Somebody's
And
somewhere.
the credits were Bob Monkhouse's
When he had a
chat
chat
show
show.
when he interviewed comedians.
Good enough, good
Thank
enough.
you.
2 out of 2, that's what they need. Absolutely sensational. Murray Walker would pass out with excitement at this moment. Yes, the gap is down to 1. It's 11 to the clouds.
He's kind of blending in with a set, isn't he, there?
Well, he's one of those more subdued jumpers.
Yeah.
On the basis that the final round is under the spotlight and it depends on quick thinking and quick speech, I think the clowns have already won, because what is Frank Carson going to make of this round?
That's what I want.
So the clowns go under the spotlight first of all. They are 1 point behind, but anything could happen. And we will be starting with you, Chris. Your time starts now. In which show did we meet Thing and Cousin It?
What are you talking about?
Adam's Family.
Come on, Chris. Thing, cousin it.
Quick,
Oh, no,
quick,
no.
quick. Pass. The Addams Family. Which American comedian starred in Girls on Top?
Ruby Wax.
Yes. Who was always trotting off to the loo in Dad's Army?
Everybody. Mr. What was he called?
Yes! True or false, Barry? Eric Sykes starred in The 18th Hole.
True.
False, The 19th Hole. Look at this, name the comedy series. Quick, look at this.
Duty free.
Duty free.
Which actor appeared in comedies as Norman Fletcher, Arkwright and Clarence? Barry only.
Ronnie Barker.
Yes. Jessica, who played the dad in Father Dear Father?
Oh, Patrick Cargill.
You're correct. Look at this. Who's behind the disguise?
Tony Hancock.
Yes. What was Mary's surname in the Mary Tyler Moore Show?
Van Dyke.
Richards. Jim, true or false? Bob Monkhouse was the first host of Candid Camera.
False.
True. Look at this. Name this pair.
Yeah, Keith
Keith
Harrison.
Harrison, Orville.
I'm free.
Orville.
Yeah, Orville.
Yes. This character. I started.
Yeah.
MASH.
Steady, good.
Alan Alda's character in MASH was called what, Jim?
Okay, yeah.
No.
Oh, what an anticlimax.
Just look at what I could have won.
Speed bump to come on there.
No idea.
Yes. Oh.
Sorry.
It was Captain Benjamin Franklin Hawkeye Pierce.
Scottish character.
Adjudicator, how did they score? 7. 7. So the Crackers now go under the spotlight. Will Mr. Carson be able to keep quiet long enough simply to answer his own questions? Right. And I just say, Frank, please, if you don't know the answer to this, if you just say the magic word pass, it would help the rest of your team enormously. Do you think you could... Do you want to practice?
What, saying pass or go on a bit?
And the time starts now. Who played the crucial DJ Delbert Wilkins?
Tony Blackburn.
Lenny Henry. Name the 2 stars of the disastrous 50s series Running Wild.
Frank Bruno and Alan... no.
Morecambe and White. Which blonde shot to fame on At Last the 1948 show?
Why ask me? What's wrong with them?
Amy MacDonald. Lisa, true or false? Sue Pollard appeared on Opportunity Knocks and was beaten by a singing dog.
True.
Yes. Look at this. Name the comedy series.
Oh, Last of Summer
All
Wine.
right.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was trying to see
Actor
that.
appeared in comedies as Granville, Del Boy, and Ted
David
Simcock.
Jason.
Yes. George, who played Robin in Robin's Nest?
Richard Sullivan.
Yes.
His
Look at this,
pal.
Who's behind the disguise?
Benny Hill.
Yes. What was Lucy's
Benny Hill.
surname in I Love Lucy?
Arnaz.
No, Ricardo. Graham, true or false? The Burns and Allen Show starred George Burns and Dave Allen.
Chris.
It was Gracie Allen. Look at this. Name this pair.
That's Lenny the Lion and Terry Hall.
Yes. Ted Danson's character in Cheers is called?
Sam.
Sam alone.
Yeah.
Often is the barman. It's gone.
Say Chuck.
Chuck.
No. Sam Malone.
Sam,
that's it.
Yes.
I make it at the end of that. They've also scored 7. But there was whispering going on.
Never.
During that one? Yes, there was whispering.
Yeah, well, at least you can't accuse me of that.
There was a lot going on with the Lion and Terry Hall, and therefore I'm debiting a point. 6 to the Crackers. 6. And therefore, it means, surprise, surprise, it's a draw. So, at the end of this special edition of Telly Addicts, they're locked together as a draw. So, first of all, could I have your appreciation for the losers, please? The Crackers.
That's the way I tell them.
Liza Goddard. George Layton and Graeme Garden. Thank you very much indeed for playing along. And the people who, they really should have won, shouldn't they?
No.
But they also drew the Clowns. Thank you, Chris Tarrant, Noel Jessica Martin, and Jim Bowen. If there's anyone still watching, I hope you enjoyed that very much indeed. I hope you join me tomorrow on BBC One for a special Christmas Day show. But until we meet again with more of those serious and sensible Telly Addicts, from everybody here at Pebble Mill, we wish you, despite the heckling, we wish you a very happy Christmas indeed. Bye-bye. Happy Christmas from Telly Addicts.
Comedy duo Morecambe and Wise, of course.
Like the face of Christmas.
Yes.
Many years maybe see.
And we're back in the room again.
Brings back some memories. Not that specific episode, I do remember watching Telly Addicts as a kid.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. Though I've realised tonight that I'm, as we record this, I'm not 100% awake because I knew those answers to some of those, but it was too quick for my brain. I was just like, oh, wait, what? And I just gave up. I was like, But I used to shout the answers out. I think there was actually a board game at one stage to do with it, but yeah, it's a much more polished show than the other one. You know, that show business is just them plopped on a chair talking. You know, that one there, you know, they've got a bit more production value. But then, as I said, you know, that was the first series of that show business. So maybe as time went on, you know, they spent a little bit more money. But the funny thing is, it's funnier if they don't spend money. But certainly those Christmas tree sets and everything, you know, they did put a bit of effort into that, didn't they? Even though it looked like, you know, rainbow vomiting all over. Even the videotapes.
Yeah. I mean, there are probably kids going, what's a videotape?
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, you were saying there, Noel Edmonds' jumper was very subdued.
Yeah, I've heard of he's worn.
And there's like an old timey thing that people don't know what it is. It's a re-record, don't fade away, or or re-record not fade away. That's what happens on the old Scotch tapes. But yeah, it's interesting to see the kind of celebrities that they bring on there. But I do know that Frank Carson was notorious for not shutting up during TV shows and things, and I think Noel had that experience with him at that point. But he also showed up on, the versions of Saturday night shows that Noel made, and when he did do Noel's House Party, he was one of those guests. Him and Tony Blackburn would pop up quite a lot, and also John Pertwee would show up quite a lot as well. So any final thoughts, Neil, on those 2 episodes that we watched tonight?
No, just brought back some memories of back in the youth when they used to have some good stuff on Christmas. Well,
yeah,
they still do, but there's it's just a different type of shows now. You don't really get the celebrity quizzes as much now, do you?
No. Having said that, last Christmas there was the Blankety Blank.
Oh yeah,
they made the one-off special, and it came back as a series. So I guess that's the exception, because you've got Bradley Walsh as the host, and then I noticed that Johnny Vegas and Jimmy Carr, they're the kind of people, that make those kind of shows work. They're the kind of Kenny Everett ingredient, especially Johnny Vegas, actually.
Oh yeah, Pointless gets Christmas specials as well. Yeah, so you still get them. I guess it's there's just the more old school quiz shows, isn't it?
And also, there's a lot of people who are no longer with us as well that would have been on those shows. Although Barry Cryer, at the time of recording this, obviously, is still with us, and looks exactly the same. And Frank Carson, of course, no longer here. George Layton, follow him on Twitter. He's still there, obviously. But I'll say Frank Carson. I'm trying to think of the other team. I think everyone's still there on the other side.
So Jim Bowen's dead.
Oh no, yes, Jim Bowen. Sorry, Jim Bowen's dead. It says like, who's dead?
Very morbid when he ended, doesn't it?
I know. But
who's still alive? Who's dead?
What I was trying to get at was, that it was such a long time ago now, and unfortunately, there's a lot of people no longer with us. The interesting thing for me was that they showed clips of the Golden Girls, and at this time, the Golden Girls were still on. It would have still been made brand new episodes. They obviously didn't watch it, but I used to be on Channel 4, and I was glued to that. But yeah, I mean, it's just interesting seeing. I was looking out for what shows are they going to cover, because they cover classic shows. But yeah, so I really hope people have a great Christmas this year. We have a lot of stuff. Don't forget to keep an eye out. It's chatschmat.com is the website. And the videos are found on YouTube at chatschmat.youtube.com. So check out that as well. And do please help us get our subscriber count up there. Check that out as well. And be sure to subscribe and like and follow us on all the social media stuff. But we will be back with more content soon. Hope you're enjoying it. And all that's left to say for me is Merry Christmas, and I'll see you soon.
A Happy New Year.
Thank you for being a friend.